Hello, I'm Jamie Boss and welcome to our guitar shop. Today we're going to be talking about setting up and making adjustments to the Gypsy Jazz type of guitar. The guitar they ended up with, or the jazz guitar, has a 26 and 5/8 inch scale, has a smaller hole. The shape, the bracing, the cutaway, the bridge, the tailpiece, the headstock are all the same as the original Maccaferri design. It was Selmer's idea for the smaller hole. All of them have a 0 fret. They all have a bowed top and a bowed back, which enhances the strength of the guitar. Almost universally, when you buy a Gypsy Jazz style guitar, the headstock is going to be like this, where the tuner will fit right into the headstock and go all the way through. If you look at the Schaller has a very large post down here, almost 10 millimeters. This has to be bored out on the headstock. So we have to go to this area right here and we have to bore this out so it will fit. Okay, the tool that's needed to use a pair of tuners like the Schaller is this instrument right here that can fit over the headstock, and it toggles just like this, which would allow me to clamp it down here. I can get a bushing. I put the bushing in here. I take a drill that is the right size, and I can use the drill to center the tooling on the hole. There we are. Okay. So now that that's centered, I clamp this in place. We take out the bushing, we take out the drill, and we have another drill, the right size, that will go down and drill out the inside section of the headstock, or actually the outside section of the headstock. This allows us to, if we take a look and we compare the drill to the bushing size, the drill is the same diameter as this large bushing pad. So now, once it's drilled out, we can put this in here. The tuner goes over to the other side of the headstock. We've drilled out this side for the bushing, and everything's hunky-dory, almost. Now, when you finish polishing, each fret should come out pretty much like a piece of chrome. So let's take a closer look at this fret. Okay, you can see that this fret looks like a piece of chrome. It polished up beautifully and is going to work out very nice for us. The larger bridge is lighter than the smaller ones is because of the level at which Jeton took the time to whittle out this. This is hollowed out very, very nicely. Let's take a closer look at how it's hollowed out. So here we can see how little the earlier bridges were hollowed out on the Saga guitars. And here we can see the newer bridge, which is much bigger, the level at which they went to hollowing out this bridge. They really did a great job. So in essence, this new bridge, which is much larger, is more effectively going to transmit the sound because it's lighter. If I were playing classical guitar, that distance that I'm looking at right here, 8 1/4 inches, would really make me more effective playing on a shorter scale or 640 millimeter guitar than if I played at a normal scale 650 millimeter classical guitar. Same thing is true with the Gypsy Jazz guitar. As a guitar player, I'm more effective on the shorter scale because I can reach those long notes because the frets are closer together. The frets on the petite bouche are wider apart, and with my small distance between my thumb and my little finger, I'm not able to reach out and get some of those chords as easily on this guitar. This guitar becomes harder to play for me because of the size of my hands. And also, I'm 60 years old. Now, when I was 20, I could play the 12-string guitar all day long and not have any problem. But now I'm 60, and I can't play more than a couple of songs on the 12-string because I no longer have the power in my hand to fret those strings down. So this becomes more difficult for me to play simply because it takes more effort to push the strings down. So that's the main difference between the shorter scale guitar and the longer scale guitar. In practice, they are the same guitar. When Maccaferri designed this guitar first, he had the shorter scale, but the bracing, the outline, the construction of the neck, the construction of the headstock, the construction of the saddle is exactly the same as this guitar, with exception this has a smaller hole and the neck is longer because we have a longer scale. That's the only difference between these two guitars. So this one does sound a little higher and a little sweeter, but it is also an easier guitar to play. And I'm going to try it with the 14-foot radius. I can see light under the 14. The 15, I can see a little bit of light. The 16 is perfect. I can see no light under the 15-foot arch or radius of this gauge. So it is a 16-foot radius, which means if I had a pencil that was tied onto the end of a 16-foot string and I stretched it out tight and made a little bit of an arc with a pencil, that's what the arc would be. It would be a 16-foot radius. So I'm just going to continue going slowly, putting a fair amount of pressure down. Okay.